Good evening. So I just had a little experience and I want to share with you guys what it was. Um, I went to a restaurant that's nearby. I'm actually at my third hotel in the last 6 days, 7 days, going back and forth. For those of you who watched my previous videos, you know that I came down to Florida to help my brother and my sister out. My brother was hospitalized for 10 days and in Miami. So I actually was able to drive back to Naples with him this afternoon. It took us 2 hours or so, but thank God that he's okay. He's on a long, long road to recovery, and we had a chance to really speak a lot about a lot of things. I gave him a lot of advice. I thank the Lord for the words that He gave me to speak to him, and I pray that these words will sink into his heart, into his mind, and that he would change and renew his mind, and ask the Lord to give him a new heart and become a different person than the person he once was, or at least the majority of the person that he was, because he still had a lot of beautiful traits and qualities in him, big heart. So I pray that the Lord will touch him. And we went over I won't go into detail, but we went over on what his course of action should be. And I laid it out for him, and he agreed. And I just pray that the Lord will give him the strength to endure and to take each step at a time and to be patient. And that's the one thing that I liked about him in the conversation I was having. He just kept saying to me, I know it's going to take time. I know it's going to take time. And that's great, because by knowing that and admitting that, it's going to keep you from becoming impatient. And patience is, like they say, patience is a virtue. And patience is something that we should always ask the Lord to teach us how to be more patient. Patient with the Lord, patient with other people, and even patient with ourselves at times, because we become very impatient. So what I wanted to share with you guys was I went to a restaurant that's right next to this hotel that I'm staying at, and all by myself. I'm sitting there and I'm eating dinner, and I'm usually a good tipper. I'm a good tipper. As a matter of fact, sometimes my tips are as big as the bill itself, or maybe even bigger at times. And I'm not bragging on myself. I'm just saying, if a person is diligent, if a person is doing good work, and you can see that they take pride in their work and they care for the customers. This server came over, and he was there pretty quick, and he was asking me what I wanted, so I told him. And I asked for a coffee with milk. I needed milk. He brings the coffee out. The coffee's sitting there. The milk never came out. The gentleman comes in with the food. He gives me my food, and I'm like, okay. I said, can I get some milk for my coffee? He goes back and gets it. So I'm done with my dinner, and I'm already thinking in my mind what I'm going to tip this guy. And I wasn't even taking into consideration that he forgot my milk. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to give him, let's see, I won't say what my bill was, but it would have been equivalent to 45% tip. That's what I was going to give him. I already had it set in my mind what I was going to give him. And so I'm done with my food, and I'm still drinking my coffee, and it's almost gone. It's a small cup, and he asked, do you need anything else? I said, yes, can I have another cup of coffee, please? I said, I have enough milk here. So I poured the milk. I poured just a small packet of sugar, just a tiny bit to sweeten it a little bit. And I'm waiting for my coffee. And I'm waiting. And he passes by, and he goes to a table that had about 12 people that just sat down. I said, oh boy, I'm never going to get my coffee, because this guy's taking care of that table. So I'm waiting. I'm patient, sitting there waiting. He walks by, and he gives me my check. He gives me the bill. And I'm like, I guess I'm not going to get my coffee. So at that moment, I decided this guy's he's not getting the tip I was going to give him. So I just wanted to give him less than half of what I originally was going to give. If I was going to give like 45% tip to what my bill was, I think I wound up giving him 5 or 10%. I said, it's not, he didn't take care of me the way he should. And I don't like doing it. I've never liked that. But it reminded me of a couple of verses in scripture that I want to share with you guys. But before I share these verses, I want to ask you, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you kindly can, just hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That's a little bell that's there, so you can get notified when I post videos, and also the thumbs up. If you like this video, the YouTube algorithm is going to push it more. I don't say it too often, but somebody said to me, you should say it in every video. But I don't know. I guess I'm kind of humble, and I just feel if somebody's led to subscribe, they will. I don't know, but most people don't know. So anyway, I'm kindly asking you if you can, if you haven't. I'm trying to grow my channel a little bit here. So the verses that I want to share with you guys is in regards to what just happened to me. And in Colossians 3, verses 23 and 24, I'm just going to read two of them. It says, "And whatever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance, for you serve the Lord Christ." Do it heartily as if you are working to the Lord. And that's how we should approach everything, not just this server, but everything that we do in life. Okay, if you have a job to do, whether you like it or not, you should do it heartily. Okay, and not hardly, but heartily, and do it heartily as if you're working to the Lord, because it says here your rewards. The Lord will give you your rewards, and it's not worldly rewards. He's not talking about money and things like that. And yes, if you do work heartily as if you're working to the Lord, I know you're gonna serve these people in whatever aspect you work in, and you're gonna serve these people, and they're gonna tip you good if there are tips involved in it. Even if there aren't tips involved in it, you should work as you are working unto the Lord. And when you see other people in your job or doing things that you do, and they're slacking and they're not doing, not picking the slack and not doing their share, you shouldn't say, well, if he's not doing it, I'm not doing it. Because now you're letting somebody else dictate the kind of person you are, the kind of worker you are. You do you, and don't worry about anybody else, okay? And I worked as a manager for 37 years, and I used to tell my employees all the time, because sometimes they used to complain about other people, other departments. I said, listen, I don't care about them. They don't report to me. You do. And you shouldn't care about them, because at the end of the day, your bonuses, your raises are all going to be dependent on what you do, not what other people are doing. And I don't care what they do. If you're busting your tail and you're working hard and they aren't, I don't care. That's not my concern. My concern is the people who report to me and what my department is, or departments are responsible for. And most of the times it worked, because the people would see that, and they'd see that I would reward them. Okay, maybe not always monetarily, but I would reward them by being understanding if they came in late and they asked for an hour off, or to leave an hour early, and I wouldn't dock them. I would pay them the hour. I wouldn't dock them, and I would do that because they worked heartily, and they worked really hard, and they took pride in their work, and they did exactly what they were asked to do, and many times they went above and beyond, because that's the rewards I gave them. Was things that that you can't see monetarily. And I'll use, I didn't plan to do this, but I'll use a quick story. I worked at a job years ago when I first started as a manager, and I was in charge of 5 departments, and one of the departments had a lot of people in it, and they always like to do parties for people's birthdays or for like special holidays, and the women always used to cook, and they all would bring in food, and they would always ask me, because they only used to get I think 30-minute lunch, and they would ask me if they can get an extended lunch for the certain day, and they would invite me. It's this person's birthday, come have some food, have some cake. And I would do that. I would give them the extra time. And many times they used to get paid on Friday, and they used to go to the bank on Friday lunchtime and go get their checks cashed. Everybody in the company used to do it, and everybody had a 30-minute lunch. And I would let my employees go 15 minutes ahead of time. And the CEO called me once, and I went to his office, and he said, "What are you doing? Why are you giving these people the extra lunch or the extra breaks, or why are you extending it?" And I said to him, I said, "How many times have you called me to the office and asked me, we have this special project, or we have this special client that we need these orders done like ASAP, like really, really done? How many times have we complained? How many times have I complained? How many times have our employees, the employees in my departments, complained?" And he goes, "They never do. They always do it and much quicker than I said, "Now, isn't that just giving them an extra 15 minutes or an extra half hour here and there not worth the effort that they put in? How they always step up when we have those special clients?" And he said to me, "Don't worry about it, just go." One of the other managers was complaining, and that one manager had a lot of issues in his department. So he just let me go. And that's what I used to do. I used to show the people, listen, if you work hardly and you give your all, when you need something, I'm going to be there for you. And it's the same thing. If you work heartily unto the Lord, when you need something, the Lord is going to be there for you. Okay, and the last two verses, the last verse that I want to share is in Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. In Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 15, it says, "Be diligent to present yourself approved to God, a worker who does not need to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." Rightly dividing the word of truth. Be diligent. Be diligent in all you do. Diligent in your work, diligent in your study of the word of God, diligent in serving your community, serving your church, diligent in being whatever role in your family is, whether you're a son or a daughter, a husband or wife, brother, as I help my brother. Be diligent in it. Mean consistently. Keep going. Keep at it. Don't stop. Don't go halfway. Goal of distance. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I pray that when you work as if you are working unto the Lord and not man. God bless you.